What's it like down there?
You know, you just saw me a little bit ago, and we had a little bit of flooding here on Beach Avenue, but now you can see the waves continue to crash over the boardwalk here. Every now and then we get a large one, and really just for several feet, we'll see water just pouring over. You can see how much water is just now flowing from the beach, now down some of these side streets. If we can pan, we're going to have to move in just a second because we want to make sure we can get our live truck out of this location. But I did want to bring you these pictures. This is exactly what officials here in Cape May have been fearing, have been predicting would happen once we start getting these 15 feet waves with the combination of all this rain. There's just no place for this water to go right now. And of course, we are approaching high tide, which is going to happen around 8:45. So this is only going to get worse for the next hour or so. So this really has been the main concern, this tidal coastal flooding. Bill, all of our meteorologists have been talking about this, and we are starting to see that here as they predicted as we approach what is expected to be the worst day and night of the storm. You can see this part of the area over here, the fence is still standing, and we haven't seen the waves crash through the fence. So it sort of just depends on where you are along the beach. But the waves very large in this area. In fact, we see a large one coming. Every now and then when a large wave comes, you can actually see the white cap of the wave approach that dune grass there where the fence is dipped down, and you can kind of just see it coming over. It's a very strange thing to see. It almost looks like snowfall when it hits that grass there, but no, it's just the white cap of these large waves that we continue to see here along the coast. So we just wanted to bring you the latest pictures because we are going to have to move locations, but we'll be back with you in just a little bit and update you on the conditions here in Cape May. For now, we're live here.
Police departments from all over this area came quickly to this area to help out. The Department of Environmental Protection also showed up very quickly too, which was important because one of the first things they needed to do was get the air quality monitors out near the scene. Obviously, they had an air quality issue here in Paulsboro earlier when we got here today. You could smell it in the air, that sweet smell we've talked about throughout this newscast. It got to be pretty much irritating on the back of your throat and things like that. So a lot of people were affected by it. That's why you had some people go to the hospital, as Tracy was just telling us about. But all the first responders seem to have done their job and gotten there quickly to sort of mitigate the damage, including the people that got the environmental booms there to kind of contain the spill of the liquid that did go into the creek there. They contained it into a small area. That's key because that way they can sort of protect the area and scoop it out of there quickly, and it's not going to be a bigger problem. Now, obviously, as we've heard, the next situation that could be what they would call a more serious potential threat, and even this threat they're saying is not a major threat, is when they move these cars, when they right these cars that need to come out. There are 3 other cars that have this vinyl chloride in it, and obviously when they move these cars, they risk doing more damage to these cars, and of course then there could be more air quality issues. They're going to continue to monitor that. But as far as the first responders, the reverse 911 system here in town, they say it worked. Anybody with a phone line says it worked just fine. They got the call saying that they were supposed to shelter in place. A couple people told us though they didn't get a call, and then I kind of jogged people a little bit and said, well, maybe why didn't you get the call? One of the things I heard is, well, I don't have a landline, and so some people that didn't have landlines obviously didn't get that call. So not perfect in every way possible, but it seems like everybody that needed to be sheltered in place, most people were told to shelter in place. They did shelter in place. The school shut down. The county responded. The state government responded, and now now the contractors are going to respond to right this train. So it looks like, so far from what everyone's telling us, everyone did their job as best as possible. Now the question is, what about that bridge? How could it have failed 2 years after a major rebuild?
Good morning, Stacey. Yes, this fire broke out just before 3:30 this morning. In fact, heading to the scene, we could see the smoke and the fire lighting up the sky from blocks away. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see they are attacking the fire from above as well as below, but it is right now still out of control. Let's look at some video we just shot minutes ago. Now, initially, we were told that units were responding to the multi-story warehouse fire at York and Jasper Street. Now, problem firefighters are facing is the wind. Hot embers embers are blowing, which is basically igniting other small fires. In fact, a house has gone up in flames as a result of this. Now, so far, the 1900 block of East York has been evacuated, and there are a number of power outages, as well as nearby streets are closed as a result of this. Back live, I want to introduce Father Michael Duffy. Now, Father Duffy was evacuated from his home early this morning. Yes. What can you tell us? What happened?
Well, about 3:45, the policemen and the firemen came door to door, banging on the doors, yelling for everyone to get up. And so we got out, and we could actually feel the heat on the third floor of our house. You know, you lift the shade up, and it was really hot, and the fire is 2 blocks away. So we all had to get out, and then they moved us to the end of the block on Kensington Avenue, and we watched the fire from there. It was huge. The radiation heat was incredible, being so far away. And then they moved us further, and they ran up and said, "It's going to blow, it's going to blow." And they moved all the people, and there's been a couple hundred people from Kensington up to Cumberland, which is 3 blocks away, and they haven't let us go back any closer since.
Now, are you concerned at this point? What are you thinking as far as your home is concerned?
Well, yes, because we see the embers and the wind blowing the embers, and already it's caught calmly in auctioneer's building. The roof is on fire there, and they're trying to attend to that too. And we run St. Francis Inn. It's a soup kitchen. We have several buildings along that street. Our staff works there, and plus the soup kitchen itself, and the embers are going right over that. And we see some of the water being played on the walls of some of our buildings. So we're a little apprehensive that they may go up too.
All right. Thank you, Father. Of course, we're going to be out here for the duration. If you do not need to be out in this area, please do not come. They've got lots of equipment, and they want to warn people just to stay away at this point. That is the very latest.